Yeah, maybe I better go on and elaborate to provide a framework for answering the question. All right. Let's say something more then about his monads. There's a tendency, when first you get acquainted with Leibniz, to view his monads as the product of a wild imagination. Resist that tendency. View it rather as a quasi-scientific hypothesis, anticipating contemporary discussions about the nature of matter, particle, or unit of energy, or just what. Regarded, in other words, as a hypothesis about energistic constituents of matter, as distinct from solid pellets of matter. Okay? Now, with that in mind, what he does is to propose that monads are units of force differing only in their degrees of appetition and apperception. Degrees of appetition and apperception. What is appetition? But essentially Spinoza's conatus. That drive, that forcefulness, that inner push, which seems to run through all of natural processes, including our own bodily energies and our desiring and willing and wanting. You see? There is always then this conatus, this appetition, this drive. As if, and here I'm picking up on the teleological notion, as if there is some lure attracting towards a goal. You see? The notion of final causation is involved. Yeah, the conatus in Spinoza seems to be entirely efficient cause, push. In Leibniz, I want to say it's pull, but it's not, no push. It's sort of push and pull, both. In other words, he combines in this efficient and final causation. You see, a push and pull. The whole process of nature is energized. You see. So degrees of appetition. So that rocks resist your crushing them, and plants and seedlings grow, and bodily processes keep going on, so forth. But also degrees of apperception. Now, apperception obviously is a mongrelization of the word perception. Awareness, consciousness. There are degrees of awareness, of consciousness, of relatedness to environment, responsiveness to environment. Not always conscious, but low-degree analogues to consciousness. You see? Like the way in which the grass seed I sowed this fall after that summer drought, quite unconsciously, germinated and began to show its head. And, yeah, some of it's still surviving above the mud. You see. There's an awareness of what it's supposed to do, an awareness. Well, very, very low degree responsiveness to warmth and moisture. You see. So there are degrees of appetition and low degree analogues of human appetite, degrees of apperception and low degree analogues of human perception. Okay. Running all the way down the hierarchy of being. And in this hierarchy of being, he accordingly distinguishes various kinds of monads. At the bottom, you have bare monads. Bare monads. Then, as you go one step further, you have soul monads, or if you like, life monads. And then you have spirit monads. And at the very top, you have the supreme monad. Now, bare monads have no distinct awareness, consciousness. At one point he says it's as if they are dazed, stunned, unconscious. But that doesn't mean to say that there is no built-in appetition or apperception. You can have living things that are unconscious, and organic processes continue. And the analogy he has is more to an organism than an unconscious organism, than to an unconscious machine. An unconscious machine by itself does nothing. An unconscious organism by itself does a lot. So bare monads at the bottom. Soul monads, those giving life in the animal. So here you have inanimate matter. Here you have animal life, and of course all degrees in between on the hierarchy. And in soul monads you have some conscious perception of a consecutive sort. In some advanced animals you have some memory in the sense of retention. You have habits that have been formed in soul monads. Well, in spirit monads, this is where the human spirit comes in. You have abstract thought, reasoning processes, self-consciousness, not just sense-awareness of stimuli, but self-awareness. We reflect on ourselves. Human animals are the only ones who worry about the meaning and purpose of life, as it's sometimes said. And so spirit monad is the ruling thing, the ruling entelechy in human nature. And then there is the supreme monad, God, the supreme monad. Full consciousness, that is to say, omniscient, all-knowing. And he would add, with complete clarity and distinctness, the God, fully conscious, all-knowing. Fully powerful, that is to say, boundless appetition, drive, impetus, sovereign will. God, who is necessary being, his very essence is to exist. So Leibniz002 is open to ontological arguments. Now, the point is, then, that you have these different kinds of monads, and in various kinds of composites. That is to say, bare monads in composites produce just material things, physical objects. Soul monads combined with bare monads produce animals. Spirit monads combined with soul monads and bare monads, human beings. You see? So rather like the Aristotelian and scholastic thing, where you have vegetative soul and animal soul and rational soul, you see a reconstitution of that whole hierarchy. Well, which do you prefer, the hierarchy of being or the mechanistic metaphysics? Well, we'll pick up on this next time.